Do you know what you're doing with your life? This is a genuine question. Do you know what you're doing with your life? I think this is something we all think about in the back of our minds between our 9 to 5s, our work, our family, taking care of our loved ones, but do we really know? Because I felt this way for a very long time. I felt like I was going. I didn't have time to slow down, think about what I really wanted to do and what I really wanted out of life. So if this is similar to you, I'd encourage you to keep listening. I don't have it all figured out, but I have time now to figure it out. I was let go from my job in March, and I've been on a bit of a wild journey the past few years. If you've been following along, I published my first book in 2023. I mentioned this a lot, but the reason is because it was so incredibly important to my self-development. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to publish a book. And I didn't know that it was going to be a children's book. I didn't know that I would write the book and my husband would illustrate it. I didn't know any of that, but I just knew something about my karmic purpose, my soul's purpose in this life was to write a book and to share it with the world and bring a little bit of positivity to others. So that's what I'm aiming to do. But I felt like as I got deeper into my career, which I was a advertising strategist, a brand strategist for about 9 years, as I got deeper into that, I just felt like I was losing sight of that purpose. And purpose, I use purpose as a really, air quotes around it because I don't really know what my purpose is, but I do know that it's imperative for me that I share a positive space with the world. I don't know how else to say it. I think of myself as a very cheerful person, an optimistic person. Maybe that's why I was drawn to children's book writing. And I just know I have something to say, and that's why I'm filming this right now. I know that I can help others. And as I got deeper into my brand job, I just felt like the goalposts kept shifting in terms of what I was looking for, what I was hoping to achieve out of this job, what my objectives were. And it became more about advancing, achievement for achievement's sake. It became more about chasing status and money and all the things I thought would make my life better, but weren't ultimately what it was about. And so now I have some time to reflect, to think about my life, and I'm realizing that I just have so much more I want to do. I have so much more to offer the world. And that sounds kind of strange, right? Like, oh, you have so much to offer the world. What does that even mean? Where do you get off saying that? That's probably, I don't know, what maybe some people are thinking. I guess what I'm trying to say is I just feel like I have a bigger purpose. And if you're watching this, you probably do too. Is your life bigger than what you're doing right now? Are you going to wake up in 10 years and say, shit, I wasted my life? I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen for you either. So what are you going to do differently? That's the question. Are you just going to keep waking up, going to work? I know we got to pay the bills. That's, I'm obviously very cognizant of that right now, having lost my job. We have to pay the bills, but at the same time, what are you going to do differently? Are you going to get up? Are you going to go to work? Are you going to come home, sit on the couch, watch TV, numb out because you hate your job so much that that's all you can do and you're so exhausted? If you were exhausted every day, what are you going to do differently? That's my question to you. What are you going to do differently was the question that I started asking myself. So once I published this book, I knew I was onto something. The response that I got from this book was very overwhelming. People really heaped on the praise. They were like, yes, this is exactly what you should be doing. I always knew you'd do something creative like this. Wow, this feels so right. Meredith, you have to keep doing this. You have to keep writing. When's the next book coming out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I was let go from my full-time job. I thought, no, I'm a strategist. I'm a career woman, climbing the corporate ladder, I'm gonna keep doing that. Then the universe was like, nope, you're more than that, you're more than your job, and I was let go. And of course I could go on and on about how that affected me, how that affected my mindset, what I'm going to be doing now, but I really want to focus on less on the letting go of that. It's and sort of the letting go of an identity, right? I mean, I graduated in 2016, and since then, I have been working as a brand strategist. Excuse me while I don't get hit by this car. And it was an identity that I had to shed. And now I'm building my own identity as an author. I'm writing a novel right now. It feels scary as hell, I'm not gonna lie. I've written about 4 novels. No, but I haven't written 4 novels. I have attempted to start 4 novels in my life, some of which when I was a kid, one when I was in college. I never made it past, let's say, chapter 7. I always would write, and I'd write the first page over and over and over and over again, but I never make it past chapter 7. And that was because I don't know, like probably a mix of imposter syndrome, a lack of an outline, not knowing how to do it in general. But this time, I have a feeling I'm gonna finish it. It's different. I've built my confidence from my first picture book, and I know I can write. I know I can. And I've gotten enough feedback from like my college professors and folks from this book where I shouldn't even say I know how to write. I mean, I'm definitely improving at writing, the skill of writing. You know, what's an adverb? Like when should you use an em dash? Like things like that. And even larger things, not just grammatical things, but things like tone and style, and not using the passive voice, using an active voice over the passive voice, things like that. I'm definitely improving those. That's more like in the skill of writing, but I'm talking about having a story to tell. And this is kind of an intangible thing, but something has shifted where, and maybe it's because I've written that first one, and so once you've got the first book under your belt, you're kind of in an unlocked state. But I know that I have a story to tell, and it's unique to me. And I'm out of breath because I'm walking up a hill. Woo! I know that I have something to say. And this is the thing that I'm following, and this is what's gonna get me to the end of the novel. I know I have something to say. And it feels important. I don't know, like that sounds so weird to say, but it feels more important than anything I could have done at my last job. It feels more important than anything I could have done in advertising. I wasn't making the world worse in advertising. I would work on brands that spoke to me, that were not harming the environment or harming the world. I specifically didn't work on tobacco or particular consumer packaged goods brands for that reason. I worked on things that help people, like medical products, healthcare products, but it wasn't helping people. It was just treading water. I don't think, and I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, advertising's the bad guy. Advertising's horrible. There's something I've learned from all of this is that your life can change in an instant. Everything can change at the drop of a hat, and that includes things you think are rock solid, things you believe are always going to be in your life. They might not be. And that might sound depressing, but to me, it just makes me appreciate what I have so much more. And that includes like your parents, your spouse, your marriage, your work, even like your body, your ableness. I'm walking right now, and I hope that I can walk tomorrow, or next week. So I just don't take anything for granted. I think if it's taught me anything, it's taught me that. I also believe that the universe will push you toward whatever it is you're supposed to be doing. And if you fight against that, you will be kicked that much harder into the thing you're actually supposed to be doing. So don't resist it. I guess what I want to impart in this video is that if you feel stuck, if you feel like you are also at a crossroads in your life, for reference, I'm 30 years old. I think this can happen at any age. I do feel like the times, the ages between like 27 and like maybe your early 30s are kind of intense. And often a lot of people have career changes around the age of 30, where you might pivot to a new career entirely, a new job. But if you feel that way, just know that you're not alone. If you feel like you're going through a major pivot right now, you're not alone. And I'm with you, and I feel you, and I hear you, and I see you. It's really this is a video about starting over. I'm at this interesting crossroads in my life. Hey, Papa. Things happen, things shake out the way that they're supposed to. And so you can't mourn what didn't work out because it wasn't meant for you. I will say what I want to impart to you is, if there is something that you know in your heart you need to do, or an apology you need to make to someone, something you want to do before you die, a bucket list thing, whatever it is, a passion project, every day that goes by is another day that you're not choosing that thing. And I know it's hard to make time for those things, but you have to. It's part of your makeup as a human. We are here to express ourselves. We are here to experience things. We are here to live and feel alive. And I'm being given right now a unique opportunity to do that and to focus on that and to reflect. And so if you are at a similar pivot, crossroads as me right now, let's take advantage of this time. So let's make the best of our lives in 2025 and do the thing you always wanted to do. Whether that's write a book, start a business, have a day just for yourself if you feel like you never get that. Start that thing, that passion project, or that blog. Whatever it is, even like learn something new. I've been really wanting to learn Chinese, and so now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, hell yeah, let's go for it, let's learn. Take that trip, definitely take that trip, on top of all these other things. Because we really only have one life. And in terms of what I'm going to do next, that is a great question. Here, since you made it to the end of this video, I'll give you a couple spoilers. A lot of my own friends don't even know this yet, but they will soon. I am doing a DIY writing retreat in Scotland for 2 weeks. So I'm going to Scotland, I'm going alone, I'm solo traveling, and I'm going to write for 2 weeks straight. Of course, interspersed with some bakery trips and coffee shop trips. And of course, I'm going to see a couple bookstores because Scotland, Edinburgh, where I'm going, is a very literary town. Beyond solo traveling, I will also be, of course, finishing my book. I'm hoping to finish by July, or maybe I'll finish it on my little retreat. I don't know. Stay tuned on that. And I'm going to be submitting it I'm going to be querying it to get a literary agent and try to traditionally publish the book. Talked about that before. The other thing I'm doing that, again, I don't think my own friends even know about. Some of them do. But I am starting a little business. Not little, let's edit that. I'm starting a business it's my barista bar. So what I've been doing is bringing my little barista bar cart to weddings. So when like the bride and the wedding party is getting ready, I've been making handcrafted lattes and tea drinks, with the latte, like foam art, cold foams, like Starbucks has. Been getting really into cold foams and making like very aesthetic, pretty ones. So like a cherry blossom cold foam that's pink, or a lavender cold foam that's purple, and things like that. So I've been doing the barista bar. I started a design studio with my husband called Zhao Design Studio, and we've been doing a couple custom websites, and I've been using my strategy skills and also my new business and project management skills. It's kind of doing a lot of different things. Also an admin of sorts and an assistant, because my husband is a really talented designer, but he just needs help. He needs someone to like organize all the chaos and also help him get new projects. So I've been helping with that. And anyway, so I'm doing 1,000 things. I've also started this YouTube channel, basically starting a new thing every week. You know, hashtag crossroads, hashtag pivot. Let's keep starting things. You never know when something's gonna stick. So that's really what I've been up to. And I'm excited to see where all of this goes and which things stick. And it's really exciting to do this kind of thing and have the time for it. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I'm still figuring these things out, as you've probably gathered from this video. I don't know exactly how it's all gonna shape out, but I know that everything is going to be fine. I do know that. But yeah, I definitely don't have things figured out. Also in terms of like the financials of this whole thing, luckily I had saved a good amount to take a break. It's almost like a little mini sabbatical. In the case that I did lose my job, I'm pretty strategic about, you know, having like a cash cushion and that kind of thing. So I did want to address that as well. I'm definitely a saver, a very frugal person, and I like to plan for things like this. So yeah, this is also your sign if you have not started saving. The economy is in a bit of a flux right now, so I'm hearing about so many people being let go. So I would recommend building up at least a little bit of a safety nest egg, just in the event that you are let go, so that you can give yourself this time to think about what you want to do next versus just rushing into a different job. I could rush into you know, the same old agency job right now. I have enough connections in the industry now where I feel pretty confident if I really hit the ground running interviewing for a full-time strategy job, I could get something, you know, comparable to my last position. But I'm not doing that because, or at least not right now. I'm looking around, but nothing has caught my eye because I'm more than a strategist. I'm more than an advertising executive. I'm a creative. And that's the truth. And the creatives I work with would probably be rolling their eyes because it was kind of a thing in the agency world. If you were a strategist or an account person, they're called account managers, you are not a creative. A creative is a copywriter, an art director, but you know, I was gonna say a swear word. Screw that. Screw that. That's absolutely wrong, because I personally believe we all have imagination. We're all creative. But yeah, I'm 100% a creative, and that's who I am in my heart, in my core. And so I want to find something that allows me to be more of who I am in my career. And I think being a writer will really do that for me. As of right now, if I've learned anything from this, it's that things can change, and that includes what I want to be doing. So yeah, I could get something else, but I want to really like follow my bliss and my creativity and see where it takes me.